Okay, let's get started. What you're going to be working on today is research for a 5-paragraph essay that we're going to be doing on Earth's evolving atmosphere. You've read in The Habitable Planet about how Earth's atmosphere has evolved. You're going to read 2 more articles, one by the New York Times and one about Titan, one of the moons of Jupiter, and answer some questions in a 5-paragraph essay. The first thing we have to realize is that in a 5-paragraph essay, you're trying to synthesize or bring together several sources. So what you're going to do is this. Find 3 facts to support each paragraph's question. This will be the source material for the rough draft of the 5-paragraph essay that you will write on how Earth's atmosphere has evolved and how it is studied. Note that you're going to have to create parenthetical citations and a works cited for the final version of this essay. But today we're just going to work on research. The 5 paragraphs are broken down into some essential questions that you're going to be researching. The idea is that you're going to synthesize information from the Habitable Planet, New York Times, and the Titan article to answer each of the questions in the paragraphs. So for the first one, let's take a look. Paragraph 1. What's Earth's early atmosphere like, and how is it different from today's atmosphere? Give specific examples from your readings. Now, you'll see that there's mentioned here source, 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 and these are blank. What you're going to do is, by using a 1 for Habitable Planet, a 2 for New York Times, or a 3 for the Titan article, is reference the information that you're going to use. This is going to allow you later to come back and create a parenthetical citation for it in your rough draft. Paragraph 2, what types of materials do scientists study to find out what ancient Earth's atmosphere was like? Again, try to give specific examples. Are they finding it from ice? Are they finding it from ocean water? Are they finding it from rocks? Give specific examples. Paragraph 3, how does oxygen, meaning the element oxygen, react to form new molecules with other elements? A good place to start here would be to talk about what the difference between an atom and a molecule is. Paragraph 4. What role did early life play in creating an atmosphere we have today? How does this connect with what we see on Jupiter's moon, Titan? Now, you may not be using all 3 articles in every paragraph, and that's okay. Since this one's referencing Titan, you're probably going to be using the Titan reading most of all. Now you can see here on paragraph 5 you have no references, and that's because you're not going to introduce any new material into paragraph 5. Paragraph 5 is for just summing up the information from the prior 4 paragraphs and drawing some conclusions. So, explain from what you have read how different branches of science have contributed to our understanding of Earth's atmosphere evolution. One thing I want you to note is not phrase things such as, I see that we have learned, ... saying what you're going to do. And instead, you're going to use the third person. So instead, you would say, it can be learned that. And then give your ideas. So we're not going to be using personal pronouns at all in this, if at all. Can be avoided. Next thing you're going to see here is parenthetical citation examples. If you know the author, you're going to use the last name and then the page number. For example, if I wrote something, it would be Waterman, space, and then if it came from the 3rd page, 3. If there's an unknown author, it's going to be the title of the work and then the page number. So for example, Habitable Planet was written by several authors that are uncited, so we're just going to write Habitable Planet, space, and then whatever page number you got it from. Or the website, such as National Geographic. Create your parenthetical citation for the 3 sources we've used for this essay. So for the first one, we've already talked about that. That would be Habitable Planet, space, and then whatever page number that you got it from. New York Times has an author. You're going to find that author's name. And then Titan reading is from Astrobiology, space number, and then the page number that you got it from. So That's what you need to work on in class day. If you don't finish, that's okay. It's not homework yet. If you have finished, great. Go work on something else. You've got a lab due soon and you've got a test coming up. We'll work on the rest of it when I come back. So today what we're going to be working on is a 5-paragraph essay that we're going to research using 3 different sources: Habitable Planet, the New York Times article, and the Titan article. Make sure that you have your name, block, and date written on all 3 of these, so in case we find it, we can get it back to you. What you're going to be working on today is this: finding 3 facts that support each paragraph's question. This will be the source material for the rough draft for the 5-paragraph essay that we're going to work on at a later date. You're going to need to create parenthetical citation and a works cited for the final version of this essay. What you see here on paragraphs 1 through 4 is a blank and a source, and that's because you're going to use Habitable Planet, the New York Times article, or the Titan article 1, 2, or 3, and then reference the information you find so that you'll be able to create a parenthetical citation for it later. Paragraph 1, what was early Earth's atmosphere like, and how is it different from today's atmosphere? Give specific examples from your readings. One thing we know from the Habitable Planet that early Earth's oxygen levels were not the same of the 21% it is today. So you're going to give specific examples, numbers when you can, about what you found. Paragraph 2. What are different types of material that scientists used to find out what the ancient Earth's atmosphere was like? Is it ice? Is it rock samples? Give specific examples from your source material. The source material is for you to work with, so if you want to use highlighters or write notes on it, that's okay. Paragraph 3, how does oxygen, the element, react to form new molecules with other elements? How does it react with hydrogen? How does it react with iron? A good place to start here would be to talk about what a molecule is and how it's different from an element. Number 4, what role did early life play in creating the atmosphere we have today? How does this connect with what we see on Jupiter's moon Titan? And when I'm saying early life, the single-cell photosynthetic organisms that we read about, explain that here. Now, paragraph 5, you'll see no source material here, and that's on purpose, because in paragraph 5, you're not going to introduce any new material. You're just going to be making connections between the 4 paragraphs that you've already written about and summarizing the information that you found. Next is the parenthetical citations. Parenthetical citations are needed in any science writing. You're not doing the research yourself, you're using the research of others. So with this, we need to give credit where credit is due. If the author's known, meaning you know the name, then you're going to use the last name and then the page number. For example, if I wrote something, you would reference it Waterman space 3. If the unknown author, such as with the Habitable Planet and the Titan reading, you're going to reference the work instead. So Habitable Planet is going to be open parentheses, Habitable Planet, space, and then over whatever page number you found the information on. The New York Times article has an author. Find that article, author's last name, and use that in the parenthetical citation. The Titan reading has no author, so just astrobiology, space, and then the page number is what you're going to need here. If you finish this in class today, great. If you don't, that's okay too. This is just to get you started. The rough draft and the final draft will be things that we'll talk about in class and not things you have to worry about today.